Hey everyone, I'm Zilwolf and I've got a bit of a different setup today because my parents bought me a ring light for Christmas. So this is my first time trying the ring light because the weather outside is awful. I mean, it's been pouring with rain all morning. So let me know what you think in the comments. Does it look better? I think that the colours are all really nice, and now it doesn't matter if the weather's terrible. My videos will always have kind of the right brightness about them. I think I'm using it on the natural light. There's also white light and like an orangey light, but I felt the natural light was the best for what I was doing. So anyway, a few people have said that I haven't done a pros and cons video of the 2023 Furby. I do have a video entitled pros and cons of all Furby generations, but that was before the 2023 Furby was released. So let's get started. Pros and cons of the 2023 Furby. So we'll start with the pros. Now the pros, in my opinion, I love the colours of them. They're all really bright and eye-catching, and the design, in my opinion, the overall, this is just my opinion by the way. So for the physical aspects of the Furby, I like how they look. I like the colours. They could do more natural colours, I think, because people do like natural colours. The main pros and cons obviously will be the main pros and cons of the product, so you know, but for this particular part, this is just my opinion. I like the design of the Furby. I like that it comes with a friendship bracelet or necklace that you can have, you know, little charms of the Furby. That's a really nice idea. I like that the ears light up, which is a pro. One of the cons, actually no, we'll just do all the pros to begin with. So the pros, it's aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. It's eye-catching and nice and everything else. The batteries do last a bit longer on these guys, or at least they have with mine, because they don't have the LED eyes. But they do have, of course, LED ears, but I don't think it takes as much power to power the ears as it did the eyes on previous models. They can talk to each other, which is cool, you know. They've got, you know, several different ways of interacting with them. You can pet them or feed them. They also go to sleep if you put them on their back, which is a cute idea, because I know a lot of kids, when they're playing with their toys and things, they'll put them on their back to go to sleep, and the Furby actually does go to sleep when you put it on his back, so I like that. The 5 different activities you can do with them are all really good. So like you got the dancing one, the chilling one. I like the meditating one. That one's really good. And there's the like fortune telling one. That's really cool. I like the idea of that, because then it becomes kind of like a comfort friend, you know, because it's got positive affirmations for people. It's supposed to be your best friend, so I think that that's a really nice idea. It's also got like a nightlight sort of thing where it just goes through a few of the LED light shows on its ears, which I believe lasts for 10 minutes before it turns off. So again, that's a nice idea. If kids can't get to sleep, or if you can't get to sleep, you know, as an adult or anyone, and want a nightlight, then, you know, you've got that. Of course, you've got to fall asleep in 10 minutes, but, you know, it's another comforting thing. So that's another pro of this model. They quite often come in sales. I've seen quite a lot of them, so you don't even need to pay full price for them. They, you know, they come in a lot of sales and stuff. The fur feels nice. It's kind of like a soft texture. It's not quite as soft as the Furby Connects, but it's certainly a very soft texture. And I think that this one in particular, and possibly the Connect, above all else, they have like the most sort of different words, phrases and things. Alright, admittedly a lot of it's in English now, and they only use a few Furbish words, which a lot of people have said, well, they don't sort of quote unquote learn anymore, which is kind of sad, and they've never done anything like that again since the 90s, and I think a lot of people would want that. But of course, you've got to then think, would people these days have the concentration and the kind of like willpower to just, the patience perhaps, to keep on with the Furby? You know, to kind of, for it to learn English. Some kids are quite impatient, and I think these days with things like, well, YouTube and everything else, I don't think it really teaches kids that much patience. Everything's there right at their fingertips. They don't have to wait really for anything, except perhaps the release of a video game or a TV show they like. So I don't know. Are they as patient as we were when we were kids? I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that would have been nice. But nevertheless, I think that the range of words and speech that it does, they're all really good. It is literally, they've done a good job of making something that is supposed to be a best friend. So the cons, here we go. Right, the colour, again, it's a pro and it's a con. I like the bright colours, but I do agree with people that the original Furbies, there was a lot of natural colours and not everyone wants to have something that girly. They also aim it at girls, whereas when they first released these guys, there was also pictures of boys playing with them. But they have decided that they would aim it at girls, and I believe it's between 8 and 10 years old. And it's kind of sad because Furby is universal. I mean, its pronouns are they. It's not even a girl or a boy itself. It's just like, it's a friend. You know, it's friend-shaped and it's for everyone. And I think that they should at least make some that aren't so girly. You know, we're looking at the pink one here. I use this one as an example. Although the Aurora one was slightly less girly, I think. You know, but I mean, we've had the rainbow one, the cotton candy one, and purple and orange ones. I guess orange is slightly less girly, I don't know. But maybe they were kind of experimenting at the beginning and more girls purchased them than boys, or more girls played with them than boys, so they decided to head down that route instead. I don't know, but Furby's always been universal. And even now, I get approximately the same amount of males and females watching my channel, according to YouTube analytics. And very slightly more females, but again, and I do mostly Furbies, so what does that tell you? You know, everyone's interested. So I think that they should make them more kind of gender neutral colours. That's just my opinion. More cons, they don't have LED eyes. A lot of people aren't happy with that because a lot of people only remember really the ones that did have LED eyes, and they all had those before this one came along. When they talk to each other, they don't just talk to each other, you've got to keep on pressing the buttons. I think more or an automatic chatting, like with Connects, would have been a far better idea than having to keep pressing the button all the time to get them to chat. Personally, for me, that's a con. The price, again, if you pay full price for them, I'm not sure if they're really worth, you know, like $70 or $80 or pounds. There's a lot of tech in it, but I think like, I don't know, 50 quid. I know that toys and things are very expensive these days. That's the main cry of parents, and I've said this before on the channel. They are very expensive for what they are. So yeah, it's always going to be a con, I think, with things like this. If they break, I don't know how easy they are to fix. Most people probably wouldn't fix them. But I was watching a teardown video of Furby the other day, and if you take it apart to fix it, it's kind of not that easy to put back together again because it's got all these plastic clips in it, and there are different ways they could have done that and they didn't. I'm guessing they chose the cheapest and most economic way to do it for themselves because they don't expect people to fix these things. It's basically a toy, and if it breaks, that's it. Or you buy another one. I think that's really it for the cons. I don't think really something like this, you either like it or you don't. As for pros and cons, it's not really the sort of thing that would have a lot of pros or cons, and I think I've gone over most of them now. I guess another con is you could lose the charms. Your little kid, baby brother or sister could perhaps swallow the charms. I don't know. But I think for what it is, it's very entertaining, and they are of course doing more with it as well, and I know they're releasing more this year, and they've done more Furblets and things. They haven't done more colours really of the larger Furbies, but then aside from making something that's more a natural colour, which I think they should do, as a lot of people do, there's not really much. I mean, you've got of course you've got your rainbow one, which everyone likes, and then you've got your glow-in-the-dark one, which was a brilliant idea. I think glow-in-the-dark Furby is something that I've always been looking forward to. So they've done a fair amount. You've got the plainer ones as well, like purple and orange. So aside from releasing ones that are like more natural colours, I think that they've probably done a good range of colours in these. I did hear about, there was one like a tropical Furby, but it could have been the Furblet that they released, because they did do a Furblet, but it was like a pineapple pop Furby or something, and I'm not sure if that was Hula the Furblet, because it looks like a pineapple, or whether they were doing a big Furby to go with that, I'm not sure. So they are doing more with it, so it's obviously popular enough for them to do things with, so I'm guessing despite the cons, because everything has cons, everything's got stuff that they could do better. Despite that, I think that they're doing quite well, which is nice. It's reassuring for us who are fans of Furby, because if people get into these Furbies, it's likely they might look into the older Furbies and get into Furby as a whole thing, which means more people are becoming aware of Furby. So any publicity is good publicity, if you see what I mean. So in that respect, it's like a massive con, really. It's brilliant. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope I haven't rambled too much. But yeah, that's pretty much what I see as the pros and cons. There's one more con, and that is some people complained about the rubber coming off the bottom of the feet. So to put your Furby on a soft surface. And the other con, of course, that I had with mine was the tilt sensor was, I believe, is in the wrong way, so it keeps on changing the colour of its ears, and it's just, you can't really play with it. Other people have complained about various issues with the tilt sensor as well, and I did of course have that Furby, which is the same colour as this, that just died. The power just died. There must have been a soldering issue, and that one had to go back, and I replaced it with this one. So yeah, there are a couple more cons for you as far as them going wrong is concerned. I'm not sure about the percentage of Furbies that have gone wrong at this new release, but yeah, you always get a few, and those are the problems that people have been having. So anyway, if you want to see the pros and cons of the rest of them, you can click the box that comes up below. And if you enjoy what I do and want to give me a tip, my Ko-fi link is in the description. So that's all for now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep being awesome. This is Silverwolf signing off.